Hoopers! This is my long-awaited tutorial on 3-beat weave. So this is going to be part 1 of a 3-part lesson that'll go over forwards 3-beat weave, reverse 3-beat weave, and the fountain. So I'll just give you a little clip of those. This is the 3-beat weave. This is the reverse 3-beat weave. And a fountain looks like this. Alright, so these are all pretty difficult tricks, and the reason I've been doing these tutorials off so much has just been because I personally found the 3-beat weave to be really difficult to learn and really difficult to explain and teach. But this is going to be my best shot. What I'm going to do is show lots of different angles so you guys can hopefully kind of get a feel for how the movement of the hands is. So we'll be doing from the side, forward, over here so you can see the way that my hands move, and whatever else seems to help. So I'm using a black hoop and a white hoop. The black hoop is always going to go in my left hand, and the right one is always going to have the white hoop, right and white. Okay? So what prerequisite for this is you should be able to do a regular weave. And if you don't know how to do that, I have a tutorial for that, so you can check that out. So I'm doing my weave, and to do the 3-beat, we kind of have to switch our grip. And that's the trickiest part of doing the 3-beat, is the grip switch. I roll on my thumb and I stick my hand in as it follows over to the other side. So I'll do this in slow motion. So you'll notice is that I am opening my hands and kind of doing this circle, and then once my arms meet and cross, I turn to the other side, open my arms up, do that circular motion. At the same time, I'm changing my grip and letting the hoop roll. My hands cross and meet, then I turn to the other side, open my arms up in that circle, switching my grip, and then it's all going to start all over again. So what you notice in that slow motion is that I am allowing the hoop, I'm grabbing the hoop with my thumb, sticking my fingers in, and then using my fingers to guide the hoop to the other side. So how about we break this down with just one hoop at a time? That was perfectly timed. Alright, so we'll start with our right hand. So with the 3-beat and our hand, we have to switch our grip. So slow motion, this looks like this. So what you'll see is that my grip is switching from the inside to the outside. So to try and do this as slow as I possibly can, I am going to, so my right arm is crossing my body, and my hand is over like this. Let's see if we can get this a little more focused. All right. So my hand's over here, and it's coming up. I'm going to open up my hand. The hoop rolls on my thumb and then comes over on my hand like this, and then it comes back. So that is kind of like, so you see how it rolls across the back of my hand before coming back over. Now when I'm coming over, I'm letting my grip switch to the outside, coming back over to the right. That's not right either, hold on. There we go. So it's outside, inside, inside to outside. So once you kind of have that down, the hoop is going to be going one full rotation, a weave, and then another full rotation, then another weave. And you really want to get really good at that with just one hand, because that is the basis for the 3-beat. So now we can work on our left hand. Actually, before we move to the left hand, I'm going to show you guys from the front what that looks like. And let's see if we can get this over the shoulder. This is our right hand. All right, so left hand. So I'm starting under here, crossing the body, rolling on my thumb, getting my grip on the inside and guiding it over. All right, so it's a similar thing where you are switching with you're switching your grip with your thumb, getting your hand in there, bringing it over, hand in, bring it over, hand in. So you're using your thumb as kind of a way to hold the hoop in place while you get your hand in there. So let's do this from this side. So that is our left and our right hand. So once you feel pretty comfortable working with both hands, and you're gonna have that basic weave down with each hand, you can kind of start to work on putting them together. If you have poi, then I would strongly recommend starting with poi, because with the poi you don't have to switch your grip. So if you don't have poi, you can just watch this. So with the thing that's different about the 3-beat is that you're spending more time on each side. Instead of, 1 or 2, it's just, 3. So what you'll notice is that my hands are kind of doing this circle thing, moving over and then circling like this. So you're making it, well, that's reverse. Like this. So I'm making this, I'm kind of drawing this circle with my wrists and then moving over the other side, undoing the circle, crossing again, moving over, undoing the circle, crossing again, like that. This is your basic arm and wrist movement, but what changes is your hands because of the grip. So that's why the 3-beat can be so tricky, is because you have to not only remember this whole kind of arm switching thing, but you also need to remember the hand switching. So for the longest time for me, I only was able to do the 3-beat on one side. So don't feel discouraged. If it takes you quite a while to get this, it took me months. You will get it in time. It is just going to take lots and lots of time. So, putting this together, let me make sure I have my hoops in the right hand. So, I'm going to start with a regular weave, and I think that is the easiest way to get into this. So I'm doing a regular weave, and my hands are really loose, like my grip is really loose. My thumb is just barely touching my fingers, right? So when I come over to the right side, what I'm going to do is start my 3-beat. Just like this. I'm going to do this in slow motion for you guys. Alright, so what you'll see is that I am changing my grip simultaneously with both hands as I'm doing the wrist motion. So I know this is a little blurry, but if you watch carefully, what you'll see is that I kind of switch my grip at the same time. So I'll slow this down even more. Alright, so frame by frame, you see that I am with my left hand with the black hoop, I'm switching my grip up at the top. With the white, same thing, there's thumbs being put in there. And now once my right hand is over the top of the circle, I've gotten my grip on the inside. Where my hands touch, now I have both grips on the inside. I'm switching over to the other side. And then once I start to open my hands up again, that's my cue to switch my grip. So you see the right hand goes first, one on the top. Then the left follows it, and I switch my grip for that one. So remember that your thumb is kind of a transition or a way to hold the hoop in place while you get your hand in there and the hoop rolls over your hand. So now I'm coming back over to the right side. My left arm that's crossing over is switching before my right. You see now the right coming down the bottom. I'm switching, sticking my thumb in there, getting them to come over, go over this circle, and you can see my hands getting on the inside on that bottom one. Hands are crossing and coming over again. So what you're going to notice is that kind of opening, closing, crossing, moving over thing. So this is like big circle, cross, move over, big circle, move over, big circle, move over, big circle, move over. It's all happening pretty quickly. So, to put this together, your hands are going to be switching pretty consistently. Alright, so let's look at this from another angle. From this side. The left side. Oh! So pay attention. Pay attention to the way that my hands are changing and that basic kind of opening, closing motion. And let's look at this from over the shoulder. Alright, now let's try this from here. Pay attention to the hand. So that is the basics of the 3-beat weave. So hopefully all that slow motion stuff really helps you out. What can also really help, which helped me, was to just practice with one hoop but both hands but one hoop. So say you've practiced your hand switching. What you might want to practice is kind of combining that with your hand. So say you're doing a regular weave, and this would be your 3-beat. So you see, you don't have to like switch your hand so much, but this might help you to kind of figure out that arm movement that you need. And same goes for the right. But working around your arm can kind of help you work around your hoops. So just remember that this is not an easy move to get. It's going to take lots and lots of practice, and just trying to kind of manage and figure out that hand switch. What I really recommend is just practicing that kind of one-handed thing, and then, you know, adding in your hand that doesn't have the hoop on it. So you can kind of like get a feel before you start kind of adding everything in. So it may turn out that your left hand is kind of weird and doesn't want to do it, which is the case for me. And so I would do like the 3-beat with my, like, I guess I would get it with my left hand, but then my right hand was like, what do I do? So then I would always end up all weird. So that may happen to you, but you will get it eventually, I promise. Just keep practicing, you know, watching the videos slow-mo and trying to get that hand movement in there, the hand switch, because that's the most important part. So good luck, and when you get this one, you can come back and watch the reverse 3-beat weave and work on your fountains. So good luck, happy hooping.